What's up guys, this is the Guitar Gent coming at you with a brand new reaction video. And you know it already guys, it's Monday, that means it's Made Mondays, it's our weekly installment, let's call it like that, our weekly appointment in which we go and take a listen to a brand new song from Band-Maid for the channel, of course, a song that I still haven't listened to. And by popular demand, after 2 weeks of troubles, today we're going to be listening together to Puzzle. Now, of course, you're aware of this. I'll try to give you a summary in case you haven't watched my previous reaction videos very quickly. There are two videos that you guys requested me to react to, Puzzle Live and Puzzle Live Acoustic. They were both taken down and taken off of the official YouTube channel. And you told me guys that many other channels, reaction channels as well, got copyright strikes when trying to react to those. So what we're doing today is I'm going to listen, also something that we've discussed in the previous video, something that you recommended me to do. I'm going to listen to the official recording of the song from Spotify. I see here it's from 2017, interesting. Also, you know, to have a better idea of when the song was written. And then I am going to look at the two live performances by myself and tell you what I think about them. If they add something interesting to this, especially I'm extremely curious to hear the acoustic one, the acoustic rendition. But of course, I'm even more curious to understand what we're talking about. So the type of music, the type of arrangements, the type of songwriting, of course, and genre, first and foremost. So without further ado, guys, this is a 4-minute song, shouldn't be too long of a video, but always depends on how much do I like to talk, and I always do like to talk a lot. So without further ado, guys, Puzzle, Band-Maid, let's go. Oh. Wow. Very bass heavy as well. Very interesting though, the way that they brought the song in with those almost dance elements. Lovely arpeggios with the clean guitar on the left. Lovely. Oh, listen to the bass and the drums, guys. Listen how well they work together. Oh. Ah, guys, the solo is so nice. Makes me want to play it. Very interesting work by the rhythm guitar as well in here. Very minimal, but so interesting. I love the double kicks, the pattern is just so interesting. Makes it so much heavier. Oh, the tone is fantastic. The octaves building up. Oh. think you already know what I wanted to say about the guitar solo, guys, but I'll contain myself. Oh, the build up. Yes. Listen to that bass, it's so chunky. Woo! And all those elements coming together now at the end. Lovely. Ah, lovely song. It was so interesting, guys, especially there at the end. As I said, they were bringing everything back together. Also bringing in the same elements that we had at the very beginning of the song. You know, those kind of dance synths. I'm going to call them dance synths. It's not necessarily that, but it's just, you know, it's that specific sound that we hear a lot in commercial music when it comes to, you know, more dance techno, let's say. Kind of reminded me a little bit of a couple of sections in Megitsune by Baby Metal as well. It had a very similar sound to it, to the more EDM heavy sections in those songs. Now, I do of course want to talk a lot about the song, but I do want to listen to the live versions first. So guys, this is going to be a heavy cut, let's say, in the video. I am off now to listen to those on my own and to watch the performances on my own, and I'll let you know what I think about the song overall, of course, the recording and the live performances right after this. So coming up next. Kaname's voice. Jesus Christ. I was not expecting that. Now, okay, let me backtrack a little bit. I've just listened to, of course, both the live recordings. I want to, first of all, touch upon the one that we listened to together, so the studio recording. I'm actually happy that I've listened to that first, because there were some specific things production-wise that I found extremely interesting and that I didn't really pick up on the live version as well. I don't know if it's just, you know, the quality of the recording or anything like that, but there were some extremely interesting guitar lines. I mean, the guitar performances were basically the same in the live performance. Of course, I'm talking about the full band live performance and the studio performance. But it was everything much clearer, especially with some very interesting lines that I see that live were played, of course, by the lead guitar. In the studio they were more subtle though, so I wonder who was actually playing those. They were so interesting though, especially in the second verse. There is that repeating, almost percussive line that's so interesting, as it always happens with Band-Maid. That's such a nice dynamic. And the other aspect that I want to touch upon is the bass, which is extremely prominent in the studio recording of the song. You can really hear it loud and hear it clearly. And as I pointed out during the reaction, it works so well with drums. So well, it's so tight. It might be one of the tightest rhythmic sections that I've heard from Band-Maid. Especially, you know, on an official recording. It's just so... It also seems to be kind of the focus of the production. Like, production-wise, they seem to... They followed that path to, you know, showcase a bit more of that synchronicity between the bass and the drums. It works fantastically well. Great job. The one aspect, though, that I have to say has impressed me the most when it comes to... Again, I'm talking about the studio performance and the full band live performance. And I have to say that's the vocal vocal melody and vocal performance. It's beautiful. Again, at this stage, I'm kind of used to this, meaning that Band-Maid always managed to put in some extremely catchy lines. It's very... they're not easy to sing, absolutely. There are a lot of ups and downs. Like, it's not even on the same, everything on the same register. She needs to go to her head voice and then down. It's very complex, and she manages to pull that off even in the live recording fantastically well. And then I will touch upon the acoustic live, because that's something else that I think requires a separate explanation, let's say. And in the live performance was extremely nice also to hear the backing vocals a bit more clearly, of course played by Miku. It was so nice, like she held those notes so well. Her rhythmic guitar playing in the live recording, I think that I can already hear her progress when it comes to guitar playing, actual guitar playing, because she was absolutely solid in that live recording. But you can tell, like, she kind of sounded a bit less confident than what she sounded in the live recordings that I've seen that were more recent. I don't know if it was just the tone of the guitar, or maybe it's just my impression as a guitar player. I have no idea, but that, it kind of feels, it kind of reminded me when I was learning to play guitar, when I was playing in bands and stuff like that, when I was a bit younger. I had that tiniest little amount of hesitation when I had to play, when I wasn't feeling that sure about myself, which is something that of course gets better and better the more you play, and now it's of course not there anymore for me, and it's not there anymore for her as well. So fantastic performances. The song is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. There is again that very interesting style, I want to call it, vocally, that it's very rhythmic, and as I mentioned, it's something that you can usually associate with a bit more with pop music than with rock music, but the fusion of the elements is just phenomenal. So there is, a more complex vocal lines and vocal melodies, where the voice is a bit more of an instrument, which is something that usually happens more in pop music than in rock music. That's what I think, at least. Of course, in rock music and in metal music, you have many singers that you can consider their voice as an instrument, absolutely. But you get what I mean. It's like the melody lines are a bit more all over the place. Now I want to touch upon the acoustic, though. The acoustic performance was gorgeous. I don't know if I have the date as well of the performance here. No, I can't seem to find it. But anyway, I mean, I'm sure you're all familiar with this. It's just Saiki and Kanami playing. Before I stop and talk about Kanami, because that performance was unbelievable, I want to say Saiki, that wasn't easy. You can tell that she wasn't struggling, but it was probably even a bit harder than the full band performance, because again, everything was relying on her voice basically to deliver the melody and everything. You don't have the let's say that when everything around you is quiet, of course there is much more focus on your performance as well. And she was very, very smart in her choices and the way that she was hitting those high notes without stress in her voice and without losing too much breath, because again, it's a very fast paced vocal style. Like, there is a lot to say. It's very interesting. It's something that the more I listen to Band-Maid, the more I see that she follows this path. It's a very rhythmic style, vocal style that I absolutely love, and it works very well. The performance kind of reminded me, not all the way through, absolutely, but it had some sections that really reminded me of Stone Sour. It's of course, Stone Sour, for those of you who are not familiar with them, it's a band with Corey Taylor, which is the Slipknot singer. Of course, they do more hard rock, let's say, and ballads and stuff like that compared to Slipknot. There is a song specifically Through the Glass. I think that the chord progression was very similar. And again, there is that that similarity between Psyche and Corey Taylor when it comes to the vocal side, that it's very rhythmic, and I absolutely love. But again, guys, Kanami's performance, guitar playing was gorgeous. First of all, the guitar sounded like it was a 12 string, even if it was a 6 strings, which is beautiful. I think the way it was mic'd up and amped up, it was so nice, such a beautiful tone, so clear and crisp. And also her choices and her arrangement, like the acoustic arrangement of the song, was extremely interesting. She didn't just, take the chords and just play them on the guitar. She did some very nice inversions. She moved up the fretboard. She didn't just stick to your standard open chords. Very interesting choices, and I will definitely go back and listen to that and possibly see if I can learn to play that as well, because it sounded so nice and was such an interesting, very interesting shapes and chords as well. A bit more technical maybe. So I'm very curious to go and listen to that. Her vocal performance as well, though, guys, that's really, I didn't see that coming. Again, I've never seen her. I don't know if it's something that she does maybe in, I don't know, maybe bands before Band-Maid, or like she could easily be a singer. She has such a soothing voice. It works so well with the acoustic style. I understand that maybe it's not her main priority, of course, when you're playing the electric guitar in a rock band and you're the lead guitarist. It's kind of the same thought process that I follow. It's just your instrument is the guitar, like you express your voice through the guitar in more or less when you play solos and stuff like that. But it's such a nice voice. It's so soothing. Again, it's just beautiful, gorgeous, really. I was not expecting that at all. And I wonder, please guys, let me know if she does more of that in Band-Maid. Like if maybe there are more acoustic songs. Even studio, I'd imagine that in studio she wouldn't be recording vocals, but if there are other live performances where she's singing, because that was honestly unexpected, but what a nice surprise. Beautiful. Overall, guys, when it comes to the song, again, fantastic composition, very well structured all the way through. As I mentioned, they start with some elements, they bring new elements throughout the whole thing, and then at the end they bring all these elements that they started during the song together, and they close it off. It's just very well thought out, beautiful song. And I'm extremely happy that I checked out as well the live versions. Of course, the full band live performance was very strong, very solid. It didn't have the best, I think, mixing, let's say, production value. Let's say not as good. Maybe it was just the video quality, but it wasn't as good as the other live performances that I've seen from Band-Maid. Just again, when it comes to the sound engineering of the live performance. But the acoustic one was beautiful. Such a beautiful ballad. And that's what we always say, guys, especially between musicians, but everyone usually that listens to music agree on the fact that to check if a song is really strong, you need to perform it on an acoustic setting, on an acoustic arrangement, because you strip all the extra out and you just have the melody and of course the guitar that supports the melody. So if that's good, then you can build out an amazing song. But if you're lacking that, you can fake it. I mean, you can pile up layers upon layers of electric guitars, drums, bass, and everything, but it's just missing that core element, that beautiful core, the beautiful melody and everything. So overall, guys, thank you so much for recommending me this. Extremely glad that we finally got to listen to Puzzle together after a very long time. Leave me your recommendations for next Monday. Again, I already have many. I try to keep count of all of them. Sometimes it's hard, but you know what to do, guys. Leave me in the comments below all of your suggestions, and I'll make sure to pick the one with the most requests. As always, I do want to thank you for tuning in and taking time off your day to just sit back and listen to this guy talking about music. Hopefully my insights were interesting for you guys. And if you decide to stick around and subscribe to the channel, I'll see you very soon with the next one. Thanks again, guys. Bye.